but they won 47 games, and this time beat the Nuggets in 6 games in a series where Steph averaged 24 and 9 on 62% true shooting. And then in the second round, they faced an eventual champion Spurs team that they pushed to 6 games. It could have been a push to 7 because game 1 was only won by 2 points. I really wouldn't say either the 2013 nor the 2014 Warriors were really all that much better in talent than the current Golden State Warriors. If you think one guy averaging 18 and one guy averaging 16 is too much help, well, in 2017, Victor Oladipo averaged 2 less points than 18, and Enes Kanter averaged 2 less points than 16. And we all know that help was not great for Russell Westbrook. Or comparing Steph Curry's current help. Kelly Oubre last year averaged 18 points, and Andrew Wiggins last year averaged 22 points. If Klay Thompson, who was essentially like Portland Trailblazers Wesley Matthews in that first year there, and David Lee, who averaged 18 and 9, is too much help for you, then I don't know what to say, because that's just an okay roster around Steph. But neither of those players, Lee or Thompson, were anywhere close to being all-star caliber at that point in their careers. I would say the 2013 and 14 Warriors were average health-wise around a great player. A great player who was elevated to a legendary, incredible player once that help picked up and allowed him to dominate at the highest level. Steph with an okay roster. Pushed the team that won the championship to 6 games and nearly 7. I think that says quite a bit. But now let's address why this argument shouldn't matter, even if Steph didn't have this past history. The fact of the matter is, the people that are holding Steph to this standard are being incredibly unreasonable because nearly every player that has reached the height that Steph Curry has or anything close to it have had great help, or at least just good help along the way. Almost every player that has won an MVP has had an all-star teammate, and that's especially more the case for players who have won championships. I went back and looked at every MVP award ever and saw how many of those MVPs had at least one teammate on the team that made an all-star team that year. Only
To you, it's shopping. To them, it's everything. Visa, where you shop matters.
26% of MVPs didn't have at least one all-star teammate ever, and saw how many of those MVPs had at least one teammate on the team that made an all-star team that year. Only 26% of MVPs didn't have at least one all-star teammate, and that is excluding players who played at an all-star level and just did not make the team because of injury or just being screwed out of it. For that category, counting players that I would deem on that level, there are like 7 MVPs that did not have at least an all-star caliber teammate with them. Please drop a like, because I had to do a bunch of math for that, and I fucking hate math. As important as individuals are, and of course the individual is heavily highlighted with an MVP award, it is a team game, and in order to win enough games to be an MVP caliber player and a championship caliber team, you need one all-star and one superstar, generally speaking. If Steph having an all-star teammate in 2015 and 2016 devalues his MVPs, then that devalues 70+% of MVPs that have ever been. So, might want to be a little careful on that one. We all know that that argument is quite foolish. Then if we can really focus on the championships here, I will say that none of Steph's championships stand out as particularly impressive. By that I mean, while of course a championship is a championship, 2015 probably goes the other way if Kyrie and Kevin Love are healthy, and we all know how good the 2017 and 18 Warriors were. However, how would Steph making an 8th seed really impact those rings, at all? Are there people that genuinely, not just being a hater, actually believe that Steph was straight up carried by Kevin Durant? because that's just dumb as shit. And even if Steph was carried in 2017 and 2018, which he wasn't, injuries or no, he did take a team to a championship win, and as the lone superstar on a team in 2016, he led his team to a finals appearance. So even if he was carried in 2017 or 18, his past proved that he is a championship caliber player, regardless of those rings and having Kevin Durant on his team. So Steph, with a good team around him, is at the very least a finals caliber team. Steph, with a great team around him, creates a super team. And sure, it diminishes the value of those rings legacy-wise for an individual, but Steph's past more than proves that he was not carried by Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was just the cherry on top that made the Warriors unbeatable. And even though those are super team rings, are we not going to credit Curry for being the reason why Kevin Durant wanted to go to the Warriors in the first place? The entirety of the Warriors' culture and their system and just everything that made that team so attractive to Kevin Durant was built entirely around Steph Curry. I am perfectly fine with the Warriors being a super team in 2017 and 18 being used as a criticism against Kevin Durant because at the end of the day, he made that decision. But in the case of Steph Curry, no, that should not be used as criticism against him. Curry is the reason Kevin Durant wanted to join the Warriors in the first place. And then once Kevin Durant did that, Curry made sacrifices for the sake of winning championships. And then he gets criticized for it. There is just no winning with that shit. This speaks to an overall bad trend where NBA fans discredit players for making the winning sacrifice because their numbers drop a little bit or they fall to the second option, and I do not think that's fair. It's an issue that's existed with Tim Duncan's career, but
Mm-hmm.